Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin in Tucson, Arizona, coming to you with an open box video that you'll never forget. And I will haunt your dreams. So come on in and watch, leave your comments. We are looking at some world coins today that we got back from grading, and mostly more modern stuff, but hang around because we're going to see some stuff that I promise you have not seen before. And we're going to talk a little bit about getting some of the modern coins graded and possibly what it could mean for you price-wise. So this is a 1997 Canadian Maple Leafs. First thing to notice is that these are not like the US coins. These coins are a $5 value, unlike our $1 coins. And I have heard people argue that you should probably go ahead and take modern silver coins and put a denomination on them that matters. The Canadians did that back in the day, and of course silver has since escaped, has gone past those numbers. One of the fun things about all of these coins is, in coins in general, is the different ways that they're manufactured, processed, all of that good stuff. And you'll notice that these coins, the planchets are finished with straight lines all the way across them, and they're very, very cool that way. And so actually that 1997, we have a second 1997, and this one I have a little, has a little bit of some, looks like some spotting on it, which is something that we've seen on these before, but I wanted you to notice that they have the same thing with those lines running down across the planchet on both of these coins. So this one came back in MS68, which I think mainly is because it has just that kind of spot on it, and this guy came back in MS69. Now the 97 is considered a rare date. What's interesting about these in general is that we also have a 96, and we'll talk a little bit about production rates. But what's interesting is the 96 is harder to locate. It was harder for us to find any population reports on. We're just not really sure exactly what these guys are worth. So your Canadian Maple Leaf started in 88 and with a 1.1 million mintage, and then in 89 it goes to 3.3, then 1.7, 644,000 in 1991. 1992 is 343,000. And then you hit 889,000 in 93. So then in 94, 1.1 million. So you had it kind of a downward and then upward trend again. And you'll see this also has that same finish to it on these coins. It almost creates a reverse proof image. But then you get 95, 6, and 7. And 95 has 326,000, 96, 250,000, and 97 a little bit over 100,000. So you can see that that would be much more rare, the 97 versus the 96. But I can find lots of records for the 97s being sold. The 96s, it was much more difficult to find any type of records. PCGS and NGC have both graded a lot more 97s than 96s. So your PCGS is only graded 32 1996 coins, and NGC 171. So PCGS is graded 114 versus 32 on the 97, and NGC is graded 574 97s versus that 171 96s. All that to say that these are, I think on this guy, we're going to probably end up sending it in, putting on eBay just as an auction. It has a population of 50 with 43 graded higher. And we'll see, you know, these coins, if you can find them out in the wild, maybe you can get a deal on them in that $35 to $55 range, depending on where you're at. And then if they're nice enough, they're probably worth getting certified. You know, if it costs you $25 to $35 to do, and you get a nice grade like these coins here, these are all going to sell probably 150 to 200 range, roughly. We'll have them, like I said, most of these are going to go onto an auction format. Actually, both the 97s, I think we're going to go ahead and just price. The MS68, we're going to price at 150 and 195, I think, on that MS69. And so you can see that if you can find them at a good enough price, they're worth getting certified on those. So next up is something completely different. I really enjoy, I think we've talked about this before, some of the coins from the Middle East from the 60s and 70s. And they just have like beautiful looks to them. And this coin was raw and was just like super stunning. They're some of my favorite looking coins visually. Just they have a beautiful aesthetic to them. and balance and use of open space and brilliance and strike quality and all the things that really make a coin cool. This particular coin is a 1973 Iraqi coin that is for the nationalization of oil, and you'll see, I'm sure that the sun rising on a new day is symbolic. I mean, the sun's probably symbolic in that way. And then you've got an oil liner here, and then you've got the deep blue sea there, and you can see that we've got the see, this is the has the two dates, the Hygerian date and the non-Hygerian date. I don't even know if I said those words right, but that's the 13. We've got the 1393 on this side, and then this is going to be our date we're used to, 1971. Some of us haven't had a date since 71. But that coin itself is another one that's kind of interesting. I think we'll end up sending that, putting that on the eBay auction, just because I haven't seen many in this high of a grade before. All right, we're going to have some bonus coins here in just a second, but first I want to get to a couple of Libertad, and we've got a couple of, these are actually antiqued. The first time I saw these coins, I thought they were counterfeits. I was like, what happened there? But they have antiqued their coins, which is to say they gave them a finish that makes it look like it's antique. How they actually do this, I do not know. I do know that there are two different main methods, both involve sandblasting, and on this particular coin, they might sandblast both the planchet, so the piece of metal, and or possibly the actual die itself. Now, if you just do the planchet and the die is smooth, it'll probably smooth out some of those wrinkles. So I'm guessing that they actually do something along the lines of sandblasting the dies. So very cool items that Mexico has decided to make. You see a lot of products that look something like this that are aftermarket. So be careful when you're on eBay and you're looking around and you see stuff that'll be like multicolored or all this stuff, and lots of times it's actually an aftermarket product. And if it's cool and you like it, whatever, you can buy it, but just be aware that it's not an official mint product sometimes. This 2018 is actually an MS70, so perfection as they can call it on these. And so a lot of coins that you see in the last couple of decades, you can get MS70s on. This coin, I think, will probably get a price at about $275 currently. I think about a year ago, they would have been $300 or $400. You know, you were still coming a little bit out of that COVID push. Next up is a second one, but this one's actually very different than the first, and we'll take a look and see what I mean, because this is actually an error, and it's one of my absolute favorite types of errors. Even though it is small, it is very cool. This actually is a strike through with a retained piece of metal. So there is a piece of metal flowing right there from I don't know, is that from Sinaloa to Mexico? I don't know where we're going from here, so which province to which province, but you will see I'm going to go in with the 20 power, a really nice piece of metal from a wire brush that is stuck right into the surface of the coin. Let me see if I can get an angle that just shows how that is in there. And it's super cool. So retained pieces of anything are amongst my favorite, whether it's on coins or currency. Like retained items that were struck are just fantastic. So sometimes you'll see little lines on a coin. So just imagine if that piece of metal had fallen out, and then you have like a little line. Oftentimes that'll be from a wire brush that they were using to clean off all the parts. So this one came back as 69. We were actually hoping and cheering for a second 70, because a 70 on an error would be something that would be kind of fabulous, I think. And so pretty neat piece. This one I think we will be auctioning as well. Now for some bonus coins. These coins are coins that I did not get back from grading, that I actually just purchased. But as long as we have some Libertads, let's take a look and see. You know, it's all about what you want. So this is a 1993 Onza and a PCGS MS67. And so you'll see it's got kind of the same format. You know, these are the more modern Onzas, where they reformatted the Liberty instead of having the front view, you have the side view on it. very different. I've always really enjoyed also just I really like the way that they've got kind of a more interesting design around the rim of the coins versus kind of the standard stuff that you're used to seeing. And a nice, bright, brilliant coin on that guy. I haven't figured out exactly how to price these guys. And something to be very aware of when you look at these guys here is to pay attention to just how large the coin is. Now, this particular coin here, if you look at it, it may look like an ounce of silver. This is actually a ½ ounce of silver, and that's what the 1/2 onza says over there. Also, for those of you who are not paying attention at home, if it says plata pura on it, that's that's going to be silver. So don't buy any of these as gold if they've been gold plated. There was a story circulating about 10 years ago of a dealer in New York who bought a bunch of these silver pieces as gold pieces because they were gold plated, and he didn't know his plata from his oro, and that's a dangerous thing to not know. Yeah, so be careful not to buy ½ ounce units as ounce units and gold as silver, or silver. Yeah, you get the idea. I never would probably ever actually buy a coin exactly this one that as a ½ ounce, as an ounce, because I didn't know what it was. So anyway, this one is MS69 on that guy, and a cool coin. And last but not least, we have the OG, one of the OGs, not the oldest OG here, but you want to go back to the Casa de Moneda de Mexico, 1979. So these guys are so cool because they've got the big screw press on them. They were actually sterling silver, and are heavier than a full ounce, so they equal out to 1 ounce net weight. And this one has a cool, nice, gentle tone to it. They made these a few different years. The OG is 1949, and then you've got the balance scale. So this has some of the coolest depictions of coinage. I think, honestly, if I was going to go ahead and produce some modern US coin, I would probably steal a few images that would probably invoke some type of, something coin or money related that's not actually a president. Give me something that's just kind of different, give me something that's kind of neat. So this is, you'll see that they were, instead of 31 grams, they were 33.625 grams. And una onza, troy de plata pura, and it's got the balance scale on it. Very neat. And this one is MS66, and actually just a nice gentle tone to it all around. So, all right, guys, thanks so much for joining me today. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.